What's up, everyone? Good morning. What's up? Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Thursday, May the 14th. Another rally towards the upside on the overall market. SPY leading the way back towards the upside. Qs back at highs here as well. We have some semis that are lagging behind, some memory just a little bit, but Nvidia is making brand new all-time highs. A couple names making a nice move, which we'll talk about here in a second. What's up, everyone? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning, B Roots. Good morning, Kelvin, Victor. What's up, everyone? Happy birthday. What's up, Kelvin? Today's my birthday. Yeah, happy birthday. What's up, Michael? What's up, Maria? TW. Good morning, Night. Good morning, Lamit, Martin, Deuce, Nina, Chris. Good morning, Vate, Cosmic, Maria, Gerald. What's up, Deuce? Julius. Yeah, good morning, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. Let me pull up the economic calendar here before we head on to the charts. We had a couple earnings names. Cisco ended up moving nicely yesterday, up about 20%. We can talk about that here as well. But let's pull up the economic calendar coming into market open. What we have here, 8:30, some red folder news, core retail sales, along with the retail sales month over month, and also the unemployment claim. So yesterday, we had some red folder news with PPI. We had an initial reaction, which was fairly large here on the overall indices. We ended up dropping right off the bat underneath our previous day highs, filling the gap that we had towards the downside. The reclaim back above that previous day highs was key. So right off the bat, wasn't really doing too much, but once we were able to reclaim back above our previous day highs, that was a good sign for the markets to reverse back up in towards our all-time highs. Similar thing here on the SPY. Once we're able to get back above our previous day highs, that was a good sign that we were able to gravitate back up and towards our pre-market highs, which was at 740. And now you can see we're getting some nice continuation here as well. So with that being said, let's go on to the major indices, starting off with the SPY chart, as you can see here. So coming into this week, now we're making a brand new high. Higher lows are still very much well being built. If I go into the weekly or even the daily time frame, we already know we're bullish, right? Weekly time frame is bullish. Daily time frame is very much bullish here as well. If you look at the hourly time frame, every single dip is being bought up. So key levels coming into market open here is, of course, going to be that previous day highs now, 744. So this is the level coming into SPY. It's going to be that 744. Break and retest above 744 for continuation higher. No, it's not my birthday. It was someone's birthday in the chat. I think it was Kelvin's. It's Kelvin's birthday. Everyone can wish Kelvin a happy birthday. But for SPY, key level key level on SPY is going to be that previous day high. So we're going to maintain a bullish bias in the markets above this 744. If we go into the ES, as you can see here, we're now above our all-time highs key levels here as well. So higher lows are being built in the markets. We created a mini flat top here, mini double top in the markets. Once we're able to break above, now what we want to see is continuation towards the upside. If we go on to that 15-minute time frame, key levels that we're going to have marked out today is just going to be that previous day highs. So as you can see right here, what we have marked out is going to be that previous day highs. As long as we maintain above that previous day highs, we're going to maintain a bullish bias here in the market. So that's what we have for the ES and the SPY coming into market open. If we go into the Qs, you can see the Qs is a really key technical spot here as well, which is that 714. So as you can see right here, as long as we maintain above that 714 here on the Qs, we're going to be looking for upside. Higher lows are very much well being built on the Qs. One thing to note about this rally, now the Qs and some names on the semis are lagging behind just a little bit. So normally we like to see memory, along with the semiconductors and the QQQ in itself, lead the markets higher. In this case, at least for this week in specific, the SPY is a little bit more strong than the Qs. So for the Qs coming to market open, 714 is going to be our key level that we like to see hold for potential push towards the upside. If we go on to the NQ chart, We are in a very key technical level here for the NQ. If you go onto the hourly time frame, this is basically our previous level of resistance. Now we like to see turn into support. So you can see rejection here last week, rejection. This was in the pre-market yesterday. Now we like to see this level turn into support for continuation towards upside. So this is what we have for the NQ coming into market open here. Let's keep an eye out on our high that we created in the pre-market yesterday. Also, we have multiple touches here as well. So just like to see this level hold for continuation higher. So that's what we have for the Qs along with the SPY chart. As for the SMH, we can take a look at this here now as well. This one, as I mentioned, is lagging behind compared to the SPY and Qs, at least this week in specific. Overall higher time frame is still very much bullish, right? Currently, weekly time frame is bullish, right? Daily time frame is bullish here as well. If you're looking at this on the hourly time frame, what we are forming here is this potential kind of flat top break here. So what we have is a clear level of resistance, which happens to be our 580. Now what we like to see on the SMH is higher lows be built and continue up in towards our previous day highs and above. So for the SMH, we'd like to see it now above our 576 for continuation towards the upside. Potential hold of our 566 is still in play for continuation as well for that pushback higher. So for the SMH, this one, as I mentioned, we like to see longs above our previous day highs for continuation towards the upside. If we're looking at the IWM, nice buyers stepping in. If you're looking at this on the daily chart here as well, nice higher lows are being built above that 280. Now what you like to see on the IWM is that continuation back up in towards that all-time highs. So you can keep an eye out on the IWM above our previous day highs, above your previous day highs, continuation up in towards our all-time highs. So that's what we have for the major indices coming to market open. So the game plan today is fairly straightforward. We're just going to be looking for longs above our key levels or maintain a long bias above that 714. And then for the SPY, it's going to be above our previous day highs for continuation towards the upside here as well. So that's for the major indices coming to market open. Now I'm going to head on to some tech names. If you guys do have any charts or any tickers, you guys can now drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this so far, I appreciate it if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, that of course is in the description below. What happened to the market recaps? Really missed them. Yeah, I'll do a market recap. Sorry, I've been pretty busy as of late, but I'm gonna try and post at least 2 to 3 times a week. I'll have a market recap for you guys today, updating some of the watches I'm looking for, along with the P&L and everything else. When's my birthday? It's in December. Okay, let's see. Whenever you have time to mark up a chart, do you sometimes enter on that time frame, or do you go into the lower time frames? I prefer going onto the lower time frame. So a lot of the times I'll mark up charts on like the hourly and daily time frame. I'm not going to enter in on the daily time frame unless I'm swinging. We can go down onto the 5 and 1 minute for more precise entries. Okay, as you can see right here, key levels that we have is Tesla. What we have, higher lows are being built up so far. Really 450. As you can see, nice push up in towards 450, which is a key level to start off this year, as you can see. This is basically our high that we created for this year so far, 450. If we want to see continuation above our 450 hold for that next push up in towards that all-time highs. Right now, Tesla, we can see a little bit of a pullback or maybe some sort of daily flag pattern form, but Tesla above 450, really next level is going to be that all-time highs. So the key levels or the main levels that we can have marked out. You can mark out the highs that we created this week. You can also mark out that yearly high that we have marked out here as well, or the exact yearly high that we have, which is going to be close to that 450 general area. So this is what we have marked out on the daily time frame. If we want to refine, let me just kind of get rid of a couple levels here. If we just want to refine it, we can just make it to this high right here. So we have our previous day highs. We have multiple touches from its previous day here as well. For Tesla, really now what I like to see is above that 450. So if we're on the hourly time frame, yesterday we end up having this nice bounce off that 430. For Tesla, we've had this nice continuation towards the upside. Now what we like to see is right the break above 450, continuation towards the upside. So for the key levels I'm personally going to have marked out today, I actually like the level that I drew out from earlier. It's basically our high that we created here on Monday and Tuesday. Currently, we're above that 448. So I actually like this retest here on Tesla. Coming to market open, either the retest off that 446 higher low, or now we can go for the retest above our previous day high. So two levels today for Tesla. We have our 452 hold above, or now we can be looking for that hold above that 446 for continuation. So keep an eye out on that for Tesla. Nvidia continue to push towards the upside. Nvidia is one of my favorite names here for continuation. There's more room. Next level 230 along with 250 here based off the weekly time frame. So for Nvidia, a lot of consolidation. And now we're finally starting to get that breakout. Now for Nvidia, we can see more room, as I mentioned, up and towards that 250 in the coming weeks. So for Nvidia, key levels that we're going to have marked out is going to be that previous day highs, 228. What we also have marked out is that 222. So for Nvidia coming to market open here today, previous day high retest is in play. So if we can get that pullback down in towards that previous day highs, right, longs off that 228 is going to be key for potential move up in towards our pre-market highs and above. So keep an eye out on Nvidia. Other levels that we can have marked out now as well is going to be that pre-market high. So previous day high retest is our best case scenario. We can also use our opening range, potential higher low above our previous day highs for a push up in towards our pre-market highs. So we'll keep an eye out on Nvidia here. As for AMD, a couple of these ones are pulling back. So as you can see for AMD, this one's coming into a very key technical spot. I do like this one on the higher time frames. If we can form some sort of flag pattern, hourly flag above our 430, something similar to what we did back here. This one was a little bit better here with earnings. But for AMD, now what we like to see is really 430 hold, push back towards the upside here as well. So for AMD, we like to see the bounce here off that 430. If we're looking for upside, it's going to be a little bit more difficult since we're farther away from our previous day high. So it's going to have to be that previous day low bounce. Longs above our previous day highs are in play, but as you can see, we're farther away from your previous day highs. So we'd opt in for that previous day low bounce for a potential reversal trade. But this one does look good. A little bit more consolidation. Maybe like one more day or the bounce as I mentioned, and we can see this push back towards the upside. As for Apple, another one that's having nice continuation. Above our previous day highs, we talked about this flat top break yesterday. Above that 295, nice continuation above that. Now what we like to see for Apple is just the hold of a couple key levels for continuation above our previous day highs for a push higher, or now the hold of our 298 for a continuation back towards upside here as well. So these are the scenarios that we have for Apple. As for Google, let's go on to the higher time frames on this one. We end up having this solid bounce right off our 9 EMA, right off our key level of support here as well. So these are the type of setups you like to look for. Low risk pullbacks here on the daily time frame, and once it breaks back above our previous day highs, nice continuation towards the upside. So for Google, this one was super solid, already back at our all-time highs here now. Key levels that we're going to have marked out is our all-time highs. So let's actually just mark out this exact level. We can have our 396, and now what we can also have marked out here is going to be that all-time highs along with our previous day highs. So coming to market open here for Google, if we do want to see some upside today, might be a little bit more difficult, but for Google above our previous day highs, continuation towards the upside. Another possible scenario, higher low here off our 397 for continuation here as well. Microsoft, not something we want to talk about here, just kind of consolidating. This one's lagging behind the overall market. So as you can see, SPY and Qs rallying towards the upside. Microsoft not really participating in this rally along with a couple other tickers. So this is something we're not really interested in for any sort of trades. And until we have some sort of news catalyst or until we can break back above key levels, we're going to be a little bit more patient on these names, right? Meta, similar thing. We actually had some nice buyers that stepped in off the low, which was that 600, but we're still technically inside of this range. So until we can break back above 620 on Meta, we want to be a little bit more hands off on this one. Underneath 620, we can come right back inside the middle of the range. As for Amazon, this one's in a good technical spot here as well. Coming back down to retest key levels. Keep an eye on Amazon for continuation higher today above our previous day highs. This one does have room back up and towards our all-time highs. So for Amazon, key levels that we can have marked out is going to be that previous day highs, and we can drag this down 270, and then we can just also mark out this previous day lows. So for Amazon coming to market open, as you can see here, we have multiple touches right off that 270. Now what we like to see is the break back above this 270. Next level is all-time high. So let's keep an eye on Amazon above our previous day highs today for a push back up and towards that 276. And then as for Netflix, similar thing, not really participating in this rally here. So we just want to be more hands off on names that aren't really showing too much strength. So Microsoft, right, Meta, Netflix, these ones we want to be a lot more hands off on. As for the names that look good, right, we'll keep an eye on Tesla, as I mentioned, above 448, along with our 450 today. NVIDIA, that previous day high retest. And then for AMD, we're going to be a little bit more patient on, more of a longer term day trade. But something similar setting up to last week is going to be that daily flag pattern. That hourly flag pattern. In this case, this was above our previous day high, so that's usually the trigger. Of course, in this case, if we're above our previous day highs, it's going to be a little bit farther away. So we're going to have to wait for a little bit more consolidation or the low bounce here off that previous day lows. All right, with that being said, let's go on to some other tickers that we have today as well. We'll go on to some memory names and some other names that look good on the higher time frames. If you guys do have any charts or any tickers, as I mentioned, you guys can now drop them in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this so far, I appreciate if you guys drop a like. If you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, that of course is in the description below as well. All right, let's go on to some of the semis and some memory names here. So starting off with Micron, I have a lot marked out here. But Micron, higher lows are very much well being built here on the daily. Micron's the one that's still holding up relative to everything else. If we're on the hourly time frame here, as you can see, higher lows are being built. And what we want to see is now the break above, really this flat top for continuation. For Micron, above our 780, continuation higher. If we break underneath the 780, momentum can start slowing down just a little bit. Of course, it would still be bullish. Higher lows would still be built. But for the best case scenario here, what we like to see is maintain above this 780 and continuation above our previous day high. So coming into market open, you can see this is our high on Tuesday, low on Wednesday. Really what we like to see is break above, continuation towards the upside. We could come back down once more for this higher low. That is also a possible scenario here as well. That bounce play here off that 780. So for MU, this one, as I mentioned, keep an eye out on our previous day highs for continuation towards upside. Intel, this one is pulling back. This week so far is a little bit more bearish, but higher time frames is still very much intact. This one's coming into a very key technical level here, fairly similar to last time. You can see a little bit of consolidation after a huge move up, and then you end up having that next leg towards the upside. Similar thing here. Keep an eye out on Intel. Now we're having this little bit of a pullback here, right down in towards that 115. We like to see a nice strong reaction and continuation back up in towards our all-time highs. So for Intel, keep an eye out on that 115 area today. That's a key level here on the higher time frames. This is really the area that we broke out from as well. So this is just our retest level. So keep an eye on Intel, bounce play here off that 112. You could even look for a potential swing position, right? Previous day low bounce. And if it reclaims back above, you can be looking for the higher low here off that 112. Push back up and towards our all-time highs. Risk would be underneath this 112. So keep an eye out on Intel coming to market open. You can see it's a little bit weaker underneath that previous day lows. But as I mentioned, the higher time frame is bullish, and we like to see buyers really step in right off this 112. So this is going to be key for Intel coming into market open. As for SNDK, similar thing, a little bit more weakness this week, coming right back down in towards that 9 EMA. So as you can see, right, a lot of nice bounces right off the 9 EMA here on the daily chart. Similar thing right at our key level here on SNDK, forming this wedge pattern here, where we now like to see a little bit more consolidation, break back above for this pushback up and towards our all-time highs. If some of the semiconductors, let's say for example, break underneath and we have a pretty strong daily candle close, then we'll be a little bit more patient for some upside. But every single daily candle so far has been fairly bullish, right? Not a single down close candle is bearish. A lot of these ones, right, lower wicks are still being present, still fairly bullish here until we get a big red candle. Right, we're still going to be looking for, right, continuation towards the upside on most of these semis. All right, let's go on to a few other tickers here. We do also have some red folder news in about 4 minutes. Before we do that, let's go on to a couple more tickers. Let's go into NVTS here. NVTS looks good. For a look at this one, basing recently broke out. I'm not sure where all my levels went. Key levels that we have for MVTS is our previous all-time highs back from 2022. Now for MVTS, this one in my opinion looks really solid, above our high that we created last year. Daily chart looks super solid. Higher lows are being built here. We have a double inside bar day, now above our 22, push up and towards our all-time highs and above. So MVTS key level is going to be that previous day highs. Above our previous day highs hold for a push up in towards that 24 and above here. That's going to be above our previous day highs. As for a few other tickers here, let's go on to Qualcomm. This one, if you go onto that daily chart, looks solid as well. So we're coming back for that retest of the high that we created here from last year. So if we're looking at this one on the higher time frames, right, we have our key level, which is our high from 2025. We had this nice breakout towards the upside here. Also hit our high that we created back from 2024, which happens to be our all-time highs. Now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback. So a little bit of a pullback here. Now what we like to see is a little bit more consolidation, and then we're going to be looking for that next leg back towards the upside. So as you can see right here on the daily chart, we had earnings not too long ago. We had this nice rally towards the highs. Key psych level now is going to be your 200. We like to see buyers step in off this 200 for this continuation back up and towards 220. Right, something that can be a comparison on these type of names is something like ARM. Right, you already had this nice push towards the upside. What is the next best trading opportunity for ARM after this nice breakout towards the upside? Right, similar thing, the next best breakout can be one of two things. As you can see right here for ARM, you can see nice push higher. We had earnings, hit our all-time highs, and now we're consolidating. You can do one of two things for ARM. You can be waiting for that all-time highs break for that 250 continuation, or you could be looking for some sort of higher low here on the daily setup for continuation higher. Right, so there's two scenarios. You wait for the breakout and you trade the momentum towards the upside, or you look for some sort of swing position, which would be a higher low, and you look to trade this back towards the upside as well. So there's two different ways, right? Both of them are fine. Just understand if you're looking to buy a higher low on the daily, it's more of a swing position. You're going to have to give it a little bit more wiggle room. If you're waiting for that breakout, that's when you can trade momentum intraday. All right, let's go on to a few other tickers. We have about 1 more minute until red folder news here as well. Let's go on to, we'll take a look at snow. I haven't taken a look at this one here in a while, but for something like this, Snowflake, as you can see, it's in a very clear downtrend. This one's very difficult to try and time. We are in a very key technical level, so if we can break back above this 160, that's going to be your flip. right? If buyers can step in, a lot of volume breaking back above, then we could be looking to trade this back towards the upside. As for now, right, could very much well just kind of reject off this level and come all the way back towards the downside. Do you only look at long trades, no shorting? Especially in this market, it's very hard to short. No reason to look for shorts when the market's very bullish, right? When we're consolidating or when we eventually have a pullback, that's when we can look for some more short setups. But for now, we're just going to be looking for a continuation higher. Are the all-time highs a different strategy than the previous day highs? No, it's the same thing, right? The previous day highs, we're just going to box that in and just be looking for the break above for continuation towards the upside. If we're already above it in the pre-market, then we're just going to maintain a bullish bias. All right, so we just had some unemployment claims. We're waiting for the core retail sales here as well. Not expecting too much of a reaction here on the overall markets. Currently, we are just right above that previous day highs level. All right, so the unemployment claims came in a little bit higher, but basically in line with expectations. As for the core retail sales, month over month came in line with expectations here as well. And then similar thing, the retail sales month over month came in line with expectations. So as for the overall market, the game plan today, as I mentioned, is fairly straightforward. What we're going to be looking for is maintain a bullish bias above our previous day highs. So for the SPY today, right, as long as we can hold our previous day highs, we're going to maintain a bullish bias on most names. For the Qs, key level that we have marked out is going to be this 714, right? We're going to maintain a bullish bias above our previous day highs and also that 714, which is our higher time frame break and retest level. As you can see here, if we're on the hourly chart, this is our key level here, 29,400. As long as you can maintain above this level, you can see nice break, hold, and now we're coming back for the retest. As long as you can maintain above our previous level of resistance, turn into support, we're going to be looking for continuation. So those are the levels that we have coming to market open. So what are some of my main watches coming to market open here today? Let's keep an eye out on Tesla above that 447. Another possible scenario, Tesla above our previous day highs. Tesla, one of the main watches coming to market open. Nvidia, similar thing. Nvidia above our previous day highs for a continuation towards the upside. Nvidia is a little bit farther away from our previous day highs. So potentially we can keep an eye out on some sort of pullback. Use that opening print and then look for some sort of reclaim setup for a push up and towards our pre-market highs. We have our pre-market high retest, or of course, if price came all the way back down in towards our previous day highs, we can be looking for this level here as well. AMD, this one I'm going to be a little bit more patient on, more of a higher time frame swing setup. But for AMD, keep an eye out on that 430 bounce play here for that continuation back up and towards that 470. So these are the main ones coming to market open. Apple looks good here as well. Now what we like to see is Apple continuation above our previous day highs. Other names that look good, right? MU, what we like to see now is this flat top, right? Higher lows be built, maintain above that 780, continuation up and towards that all-time highs and above. Intel and SNDK lagging behind just a little bit, but if we're looking at the daily chart, right, this is in a good technical spot for a bounce play for a pushback towards our all-time highs. You can go into NBIS. This one has been continuing to push higher. We also had earnings yesterday as well. End up using this level, super solid break and retest right off that 96. As for NBIS continuation, what you're going to keep an eye on for here now is going to be that previous day highs. Now what we like to see is longs above our previous day highs for continuation. This one here is very much bullish. Every single dip, right? You can see just turning into resistance, and then this level turning into resistance here as well. Resistance turning to support. Now what we like to see is a break above. Next level is going to be that previous day highs. Yeah, that is going to be it for me today. As I mentioned, main watches today, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, we can keep an eye on for here as well. Some good swing setups that might take a little bit longer to develop. AMD And we have Intel, SNDK, similar thing. MU, we'll keep an eye out on the previous day low reaction and also that previous day highs coming to market open. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Similar game plan as per usual, right? Just look for any sort of major dips that we have until it stops working, right? We're going to continue to look for dips in the market. So whenever the markets do have dips, we're just going to be looking for pullback longs for continuation. Similar thing today, right? Pullback longs, as long as you can maintain above key levels, we can be looking for continuation higher. Yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, appreciate if you guys drop a like and sub. If you guys haven't joined the free daily watch list, that of course is in the description below. Also have a trade recap for you guys on the second channel. Haven't done one in about a week, so keep an eye out for that. That is gonna probably come on midday. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Peace.